Hey guys, creator mom. I'm making a night video. I watched the show Baby Reindeer. Sorry, my nose is itching. And the ending of the show was very disappointing. It's about this guy who's like 25. He's trying to be a comedian, and he experiences grooming and getting like raped by this guy. Then experiences being stalked by this like really like heavy set woman who's like way older than him. He starts, these bad people kind of come into his life, but the reason it persisted was because of his lack of self-worth, self-confidence, lack of kind of like standing up for himself and allowing him to empathize way too much with the abusers, way too much with the psycho people. And I think that if you're a type of person who struggles with low self-worth and you struggle with feelings of like feeling bad for people, you really have to watch out for this type of shit, because you will end up feeling bad for people who, oh shit, you will end up feeling bad for you will end up feeling more bad for the, people who are the abusers than for yourself. You will betray yourself to give someone, overextend empathy to somebody else who doesn't really like need the empathy nor deserve it. It's just like an unhealthy thing. It's not even healthy. It's not even like remotely reasonable. This show was just like highly disappointing for me in that way. I think it's because when I was young, I saw people cycle in relationships. Well, namely, my parent cycle. Like the person, they was like arguing, fighting, like awful things, and then like no matter what, like, well, then they'd get back together. It's just like, come on, make up your mind and shut the door. Just shut the door on these people who are, if a person is not treating you right, So, but I think it takes a level of self-worth, and I think that some people are afraid to be alone. Some people are afraid to be no one to nobody, just like Jay Reed says. He says, like, it's better to be someone to somebody than to be no one to nobody. And I think that that's what this guy struggled with. Like, so when he experienced all that trauma with that, like, groomer, and then this stalker woman walks in to the bar and starts giving him, like, all this attention, something about that felt good. He was somebody to someone, but it was very unhealthy. And he noticed that she was obsessive, and like that it was becoming a problem, but he also acknowledged that there was a part of him that liked her, but he didn't want to be with her though. Like she was older than him and stuff like that, but there was a part of him that liked this negative attention because it was attention. You know what I'm saying? It's like any form of attention, even if it's abusive, like who cares, right? It's like feeding something in there, but it's not healthy. So I was disappointed because he had finally got this lady locked up. She was a very bad stalker. And he ends up feeling bad for her. And it was like before that, he was getting like so healthy. Like he had finally told people about what all had happened to him, and he cried about it. Like he really had like a healing moment. And then after locking this woman up, like it triggered him to fall back into the cycle because he felt bad for her. He felt bad. And so he started listening to all her voicemails and getting like, just trying to connect with his abuser, and like this, I don't know, this like trying to relate with her, feeling like, oh, she probably feels like how I feel deep down, like way too empathetic with this woman. So he was betraying, I feel like, well, I could say he was betraying himself. In a way he was, but in a way he was also fulfilling this somewhat of a deep need that he was having, to be seen. So then he also ends up going back to the groomer dude. And so that was really disappointing, to see him go back there. And that's how the show ended. And that was like, it's kind of just like reminded me how it can be hard for people, and it can be hard for us to move away from unhealthy people and unhealthy relationships, especially when they offer us something, because there is something that they offer us, right? Being somebody to someone. This groomer guy was a big writer. He asked him again, hey, come write with me. Again, he's being seen. This is, the area of career that he wants to be in. So it's giving him that. But he's trading something for it, And it's not, it's not the healthy way to do it. But again, rather be somebody to someone than nobody to no one.